Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 shalom, Shabbat, 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 shalom, Shabbat, 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom to all of you. I'm in an empty room here right now, taping ahead of time because times are changed. We will no longer, for at least a while, be able to do our services in person, so I wanted to be here for you. I will be imagining where everybody sits. There's Herbie sitting over there, Ruthie over here with her voice of an angel, Barbara Cushion way in the back and really intent because she knows every single word of the service. All of you mean so much to me in this congregation and make our beautiful patchwork quilt. So I'm going to be picturing all of your reactions. I'm going to see Terry in the back who always has probing questions. And I also still picture all of you who are no longer with us. So we will come together. We are going to use our normal book, which you'll have access to, the Sidur Chadash, and I'll be announcing the pages. There'll be a few times that I'll be doing readings. They're not in the book, so don't go crazy looking for them. But it'll be basically our regular service. As always, if you don't know the words in Hebrew, singing along Yai-di-di-di or Ya-la-la-la is absolutely not only just fine, it's required because it's the intent of the prayers. And now that you're alone, even if you're afraid to sing in front of people, you can sing by yourself, sing for the joy, and sing for the Spirit of God. So we will start our service with candle lighting, which we normally don't do in the winter, but since I'm doing this before Shabbat, we can do it. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. Before we begin this service, I want to do a little meditation on the candles. Shabbat serves as a chance to get away from the worries of the world, all the things that go on day to day, and give us this little bit of heaven, a little bit of the Garden of Eden, or a little bit of the world to come. And right now, we especially, I think, with all the things going on in the world right now in our country with COVID and all the other things, we all need that little space. And this meditation is a way to get you a little bit ready for it. We're going to meditate on the candles. Can you have it? Is it showing the candles? Okay. Moments Alone. This is written by a woman named Leslie Littman. We begin Shabbat with a flame, seemingly simple flame, yet it is that flame which symbolizes the process each and every one of us must go through to reach Shabbat. As you study the flame before you, notice its layers. The outside of the flame is bright yellow, almost white, symbolizing the glare of the week. It represents all of those worldly thoughts with which we enter this time. Next,
Notice the deeper yellow of the flame, somehow softer than the glaring white. As you reach this layer, close your eyes for a moment and feel those worldly concerns begin to fall away. As you enter the flame, feel the deep warmth of the orange and reach into yourself for the warmth, the closeness, the peace of these moments of tranquility. Only through these thoughts are you truly able to perceive the next layer, the deep blue, your innermost being, your soul. Look closer now. What is it that holds the flame to the wick? It is a black space, seeming nothingness, yet it is that nothingness, the empty space, upon which the entire flame rests. Heschel speaks of Shabbat as a time to leave the realm of physical space in order to take the step into the realm of time, eternity, infinity, God's realm, the realm of seeming nothingness, yet that realm upon which all rests. Let it all slip away as you reach for that black which surrounds the wick, God's place, the place of Shabbat. And now we turn to page 16. I hear Herbie telling me page 16. For the Shalom Aleichem, welcoming the angels of Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ba'achem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Marchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Lachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn now to page 18. In the middle of the page, we sing together in the English. The sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Come gather to welcome Shabbat, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, O Queen, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace be unto you, angels of peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom. We continue now on page 20. We normally do this responsibly. Read it along with me. This is by Abraham Joshua Heschel. Eternity utters a day. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song in the wind and joy in the trees. The Sabbath arrives in the world, scattering the song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. Where are the words that could compete with such might? 6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things of space. On the Sabbath we try to become attuned to the holiness in time. 6 days a week we wrestle with the world, wringing profit from the earth. On the Sabbath we especially care for the seed of eternity planted in the soul. The world has our hands, but our souls belong to someone else.
6 days a week we seek to dominate the world. On the 7th day we try to dominate the self. To set apart a day a week, a day in which we would not use the instruments so easily turned into weapons of destruction. A day for being with ourselves, a day in which we stop worshiping the idols of technical civilization, a day in which we use no money, a day of armistice and the economic struggle with others and with the forces of nature. Is there any institution that holds out a greater hope for human progress than the Shabbat? I don't think so. And now we begin the beautiful Psalms, the Kabbalat Shabbat service, which is a spiritual warm-up. Each psalm serves as a reminder of the day of the week. And as we sing them, we may not do all today, but if you think about each day that corresponds with this psalm and try to think about maybe the good and the bad of that day and let it go, it will prepare you for the peace of Shabbat. Page 22. Come, let us sing unto the Lord. Lehu niranina ladonai nari alitzur ishenu nikad mafanav bitodan bizmirot nari alon nikad mafanav bitodan bizmirot nari alon ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher be'ado mekarei haaretz v'to'afot harim lo asher be'ado mekarei haaretz v'to'afot harim lo. 3 lines from the bottom on page 22. Arba'im shana kut v'dor ve'omaram to'elevavhem ve'hem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati v'api im yavon el menuchati. Page 24. Sing unto the Lord a new song. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Sing to Adonai a new song, sing to Adonai, all of the earth. Shiru l'Adonai, baruch hu shemo, basru miyom, v'yom yeshuato. Sapru v'goyim kevodo v'chol ha'amim niflotav. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Sing to Adonai a new song, sing to Adonai, all of the earth. Ki gadol Adonai umhulam me'od, no ra'u akol Elohim, ki kol Elohei ha'amim elilim, v'Adonai shamayim asad. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Sing to Adonai a new song, sing to Adonai, all of the earth. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth be glad. Let the sea and all within it roar praise. We'll sing together 4 lines from the bottom of 24, and it is transliterated at the bottom of the page. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel aretz. ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, ארז'בנו כל הצייר, לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים באמונתו. Page 26. אדוני מלך תגל הארץ, ישמחוים רבים, ענן ורפל סביבה, צדק ומשפט מכון כיסו.
I'm going to do a reading now that is not from our book. Just a minute to find it. It was written by a dear friend of mine, Mark Freidenberg. How wise is our tradition? How wise is our tradition to command us to take time to feel joy? How wise is our tradition to command us to study Torah, and what joy it is to be guided by her words. How wise is our tradition to command us to seek rest on the Sabbath, and what joy it is for our souls to be refreshed. How wise is our tradition to command us to kindle Shabbat candles, and what joy it is to marvel in their light. How wise is our tradition to command us to be mindful of Shabbat, and what joy it is to remember God's holiness. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright. The righteous will rejoice in Adonai and give thanks, and remember God's holiness. We sing the last two lines on page 26, which is transliterated at the bottom of the page.
Or zarua la tzadik uli yishmelet simcha. Or zarua la tzadik uli yishmelet simcha. Simchu tzadikim Adonai behodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim Adonai behodu lezecher kodsho.
We will now turn to page 28.
Mizmor shivu Adonai shir chadash ki niflot asar. Hoshielo yemino uzroa kodsho.
We will read together on page 29 in the English. Sing a new song unto the Lord, who has done marvelous things, whose holy power has brought deliverance. The Lord has made known this saving power, and has revealed his triumph before the nations. God lovingly remembers this faithfulness to Israel, and the very ends of the earth have witnessed God's deliverance. Acclaim the Lord, all the earth, and break forth into jubilant singing. Praise the Lord with the harp and the voice of song. With trumpets and the sound of the shofar, shout praise before our sovereign the Lord. Let the sea roar and all within it. Let the earth and its inhabitants give praise. Let the rivers clap hands in gladness. Let the mountains join in song. For the Lord is coming to judge the world, to rule the nations in righteousness and equity. We turn now to page 30.
Adonai malach yirgezu amim, yoshev kruvim tanu ta'aretz. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at God's holy mountain, for the Lord our God is holy. We'll sing at the bottom of page 30, and it is transliterated in the English, and if you don't have it, please, Yidididai will fill your heart with song. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu leharkadsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu leharkadsho. We will now turn the page to page 38 to the beautiful mystical Lecha Dodi, which talks about Shabbat and also the hope for the redemption at the time of the Moshiach. And although we have many beautiful melodies, especially at this time, I'm going to do the one that everybody knows that we've been singing for as long as I'm alive and as long as most of you have been alive. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamur v'zachur v'dibur echad hishmi'anu el ha'miyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor ha'bracha merosh mikedem nisuchat sof ma'aseh b'mashavatila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzi imito afecha Rav lach shevet b'yamecha b'chad v'chuyachamo alayich kemla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Idnari me'ar farkumi livshi b'deiti fartechami al yad ben Ishai beit halachmi korva el nafshi ge'ala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Page 40, the second to the last verse. Yamin u'smol tifrotzi v'et Adonai taritzi ayaris bein partzi v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. We face the door and welcoming the Shabbat. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha ustachala toch emuneh ansegula. Boi chala lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Come now, Shabbat, the day divine. Come in joy, let your brightness shine. Come to the people which greet you with pride. Come now in peace, Shabbat bride. And now we turn to page 42 for the Psalm for Shabbat. Please try to join in. It's such a joyous song. Mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir liyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir liyom HaShabbat. Sing a song of Shabbat. Sing a song of Shabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai u'lezamer l'shir Shircha Elyon. Sing a song of Shabbat. Sing a song of Shabbat. Lehagid babuker, hostecha, ve'emunatcha, ba'leilot. Mizmor shir, shir liyom ha'Shabbat. Mizmor shir, shir liyom ha'Shabbat. Alehu asar, v'alenavel, alei dayon, bechindar. Sing a song of Shabbat. Sing a song of Shabbat. Kisim Adoni, Adonai b'falecha, b'maseh yadecha haranein. Mizmor shir, shir liyom ha'Shabbat. Mizmor shir, shir liyom ha'Shabbat. The righteous will flourish like the palm tree. They will thrive like the cedar of Lebanon. Planted in the house of the Lord, they will flourish in the courts of our God. We'll sing together the last 4 lines of 42, and it is transliterated at the bottom of the page. Tzadik ata amar yifrach ke'erez b'Lebanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrihu o genuvun v'sevar t'shenim rananim ihu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri v'lo avlatabo. Page 44. Adonai malach yud levesh Adonai oz hitazar, avtikon tevel baltimot. There's a reading at the bottom of page 44, which we usually read, and I feel right now it's more important than ever. So I will read, and hopefully you will read with me. To praise God and God's creation is to celebrate the world into which we have been born. It is to dig beneath the sorrow and injustice to find the beauty which might redeem the ugliness which is too readily apparent. Yet, praise of the world as it exists can linger on our lips just so long. Then we must cry out. There are evils which we shall not accept. There are cruelties and horrors which we shall not let our celebration conceal. And so our praise is not complete until we take the world which our Sabbath vision celebrates and make of it the text of a new song, shattering the rhythms of the familiar life we know with a chorus of resolve to wipe out cruelty and ugliness, writing an anthem which all people may sing in a world of justice, love, and peace. Adonai le'orech yamim. That concludes the first part of our service, the Kabbalat Shabbat service, our spiritual warm-up. And we will begin now the Mariv service. We will read in English the prelude to the Baruch Hu, but because we don't have a minyan present, even though all of you may be there, Baruch Hu is something we don't do. It's the formal call to worship. And there are few prayers in our service that require that quorum of 10 people, of a community. We can always pray to God individually. We have no intermediary. But because we are a congregation, we do so much together that it's important that we have a few prayers that we all come together for. But we'll read
the bottom of 49, the prelude to the Baruch Hu, to get the feeling of what it's all about. Having gathered to worship as the Kehila Kadosha, we blend our voices and join our hearts. We link ourselves to generations of our people through the ages and across many lands. In praying the words which we are about to hear and utter, they bequeath to us their thoughts, their words, their hopes, their faith. These ancient words, now enshrined in our worship, stir our souls anew and invite us once again to add our voices to those which echo across time. We rise to be summoned and to respond. Page 50, there is the Baruch Hu, which we won't be doing, but we will do, sometimes we do the next paragraph in the Hebrew. I think we'll do it in English. We normally do it responsibly as most of these things, but join along from your apartments. Page 51. Praised are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, whose words bring on the dusk of evening. Your wisdom opens the gates of dawn. Your understanding regulates time and seasons. The stars above follow their appointed rounds in response to your divine will. You create day and night. You alternate darkness and light. You remove the day and bring on the night. You separate one from the other. We call you Lord of heavenly hosts. You are a living God. May you rule over us as you rule over nature. Praise to you, Lord our God, who brings on the evening dusk.
Umavir yom umeid layla, umavdil ben yom uben layla, Adonai tzivaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu, le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, amarim aravim. We turn now to page 52. With everlasting love, you have loved the house of Israel. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shachbenu, uvkumenu na'aseach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei